Remember that phase when everyone was trying to outsmart job interview questions? The trick was to label perfectionism as your weakness, cleverly disguising it as a backhanded compliment. "I just work too hard at getting everything right," people would say, thinking they'd found the perfect answer to impress. But let's dig deeper. Why has perfectionism, of all things, been framed as a flaw disguised as a virtue? Was it really ever a strength? For companies, maybe. After all, perfectionists can be an asset. Their drive for precision can push projects beyond ordinary standards. Their meticulous attention to detail, raising the bar for everyone around them. They often work longer, harder, and more intensely than most, chasing results that others might not even attempt. But beneath this glossy surface, perfectionism doesn't hold up as a sustainable strength. In fact, it often reveals itself as one of the core pillars of low self-esteem. Even more troubling, it's often tangled up with another challenge many face: procrastination. Perfectionists set goals so impossibly high that they're doomed to fall short. But where does this relentless pressure to perform come from? More often than not, it traces back to childhood, where even the best-intentioned parents can unintentionally tie love and approval to performance. When children grow up in an environment where success is celebrated, but mistakes are met with sharp disapproval, they start to internalize a dangerous idea. Their worth as a person is conditional. Conditional on being perfect. It's not always explicit. Sometimes, it's as subtle as watching a parent model the same behavior. When children see perfection as the standard for acceptance, they adopt it as their own survival mechanism. Their sense of value becomes entwined with achievements, leaving no room for error or imperfection. Over time, the idea that anything less than flawless is failure takes hold, and the cycle becomes almost impossible to break. Then there's procrastination, a shadow that looms just as large in the realm of low self-esteem. While it's easy to blame procrastination on laziness or poor time management, it often stems from something deeper: fear. When people believe their efforts will never measure up, it's easier not to start at all. After all, why risk falling short when the stakes feel so high? Criticism stings more when you've tied your self-worth to the outcome. So, instead of facing that risk, many perfectionists choose to delay, retreating into a cycle of avoidance that feeds their insecurities even further. This vicious loop of perfectionism and procrastination is exhausting. It doesn't drive people because they believe in their ability, it pushes them out of fear. Fear that if they don't give 110%, if they don't deliver something extraordinary every single time, they'll fail not just the task but themselves. But here's the thing: perfection isn't attainable. It never was, and it never will be. To untangle this web, the first step is self-compassion. We've been far too harsh on ourselves for far too long, holding ourselves to standards that no one could realistically meet. It's time to challenge those inner voices that insist we're not good enough and question where those beliefs even come from. Were they handed to us by others who were just as lost in the pursuit of perfection? Probably. But just because they didn't know better doesn't mean we have to stay stuck in the same mindset. The truth is, imperfections are an inescapable part of being human. They're not failures. They're what make us real, complex, and ultimately stronger. Our worth is not, and never has been, tied to how perfect we appear or how much we achieve. Philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche argued that perfectionism is something to resist, not embrace. His solution wasn't to try harder or achieve more. It was to accept ourselves fully, flaws and all. For Nietzsche, true self-esteem comes not from chasing impossible standards, but from living authentically, embracing both strengths and weaknesses with equal grace. Here's a question for you. Who decided that anything less than 100% isn't good enough? Whoever they were, they lied to you. The truth is, no one can sustain that kind of pressure, and no one should have to. What you create, what you achieve, isn't the measure of your value as a person. It never has been. It's time to let go of those self-limiting beliefs, the ones passed down by people who, quite frankly, didn't know any better themselves. We know better now. So do the best you can today, and when you learn more, grow, and evolve, do better tomorrow. But never let perfectionism rob you of the joy of simply being human. Your value lies not in how flawlessly you perform, but in the authenticity you bring to the world. Step away from the shadows of perfectionism and procrastination, and into the light of self-acceptance. It's not about being perfect, it's about being you.